Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Napoleon Total War with the Great War mod. So, we're really now closing in on the end of the war. There's only 4 regions left, so let's quickly go over what we have left to do. So if we really start from the west to the east, it starts with Prague and Bohemia, where I think we're gonna do today's video. So we got Allenby in the north, ready to charge down from Saxony, and then up from Vienna we've got Sir Horace Smith Doran was gonna advance up from the south, and we're gonna smash that, taking out the Austro-Hungarian, the current capital. 6.3 million people lives in that city, or in that region. Guess it's not just a city. So we take that out. If we continue east, then the next place is Breslau Silesia, held by the German Empire. Now the German Empire has 4 full stacks here, but they're facing a combined force of French and Italian troops coming in. And I'm sure the French is going to send in more troops as it goes along. Not entirely sure where the Italian came from, but yeah. So there's going to be quite a fighting over here. And, as long as these guys find each other out, I can just then later on come in with my army from Poland, take it, and there's kind of an important reason why I want to take it and not to have it fall into ally hands, but we'll go on to that later. As we continue east, we end up in Lemberg, Galicia. So we got an army within striking distance, but it's gonna have to travel through the snow, so we lost quite a few people due to the fact that I wasn't able to make the jump from over here into the farm, which was the original idea. We're gonna sit here because I'm not planning on taking this one out just yet, and I'm gonna explain that later. And then down here, there's not much pressure right now on Klausenberg, Transylvania, because the Romanian attack failed, which is was quite unfortunate. We're gonna help out the Romanians, and hopefully they will renew their attack, given what I'm going to give them. So I'm going to give them all the technology advantage I currently hold on them, and we're also going to add a bit of cash to them, and I'm going to give up the Moldovan region. That should be a nice enough care package for the Kingdom of Romania that they will hopefully be able to take out Transylvania. I have no interest in marching all the way. I would have to probably march through the Hungarian plain to get there, or I guess after I've taken Lemberg as a way down through there, which I can take it. But hopefully the Romanians, with all of this, might actually be able to accomplish this on their own, which would be super nice. So the reason why, now we go back, the reason why I don't want to take this out is because I'm fearful that the French are going to cut directly towards the capital region. And if I've taken out Galicia then this is the last German holdout. The French can then take this, and these armies will despawn. There will not be major fighting back and forth. I'm hoping that there's going to be fighting so that I can come in and take it later, because my plan is to take control of Breslau, Prague, Dresden, and then Hessen or Darmstadt, and I'm going to trade these 4 regions, or as few regions of these as I can, but maybe all 4 of them, against Berlin. Because that's the victory region that I don't hold. Now, it doesn't matter super much, but I kind of want to give it so that we have a French southern control region, and we have a British northern control region, if that makes sense. And then we have a Italian super south control point. And yes, I've gone ahead and explained all of that. So what we're going to do now today is we're going to take out this region. I'm going to start by taking Horace Doran, and we're going to charge up here. We're going to go rid of this army, outrush all that. Why is it? Oh, okay. And it's a German force. It's a German force, but there's Austro-Hungarian. Where is this German force then? Is it hiding out here in the forest? Right. I mean, they're gonna get crushed because I've got long-range artillery. Both the gas and the heavy howitzers can fire for 1,000 yards, or whatever the range is at. So that will be all the way up to the end of the map. So wherever they kind of join in on the map, I'll be able to target that area and destroy them as they come in. The important bit is I want a big battle around here. And this kind of screws that up a little bit. But yeah, let's just work our way through this so we can get to the meat of this. Get Prague and Bohemia, take that over. So yeah, without further ado, which I say way too often, let's go ahead and jump straight into battle, shall we? The battle is underway. The first force was easily destroyed by overwhelming bombardment of artillery, but as we can see, the AI is actually hanging out on the very border of the map, trying to avoid facing my artillery. So the artillery that I have been able to pull up, I have pulled up. But the really heavy guns barely reach. So we're moving into assault positions. The tanks are rolling forward, and we got the infantry moving forward. So we got a Scottish brigade, we've got the New Zealand mixed brigade, and then we've got the Australian one, the big one in the middle, and we're gonna start making our attack soon enough. We're just putting everyone in position here. The enemy force barely got out of its position before it's got absolutely massacred by the heavy artillery. Currently we are receiving some artillery fire from the enemy, but I've just now recently been able to put up my guns to put counter battery fire on the enemy. So hopefully we'll be able to destroy their guns. Now they've even limbered up most of their guns, so they're not really even firing back at us. We've got the female tanks making their approach. We're gonna put them first, and they might just be able to machine gun down everyone. But there's a steady stream of infantry coming up behind to support that. So there are enemies here, so we need to be kind of cautious as we move through the village. So we don't want to... What we could do is we can move two at a time as we approach here. However, it looks like this tank is within reach of everything, and the angle might not be great, but it definitely will support any sort of forward movement here. This one might actually be able to roll into a better position than the other one. So the machine gun tank, female tank, has started spraying the enemy position, which is good. And that should allow the brigades to move into position. So I want the Scottish on the flank there. We want the Australian to move up, split it so it's on either side as they advance across there. And then I want these to advance like that, and these guys to speed it up a little bit. So yeah, I don't think the tank is probably has quite a bit of trouble actually firing. Yeah, most of the shots are landing here. There's a bit of a ridge, but this one should do fine. This one has a pretty good position. And it's now just cutting down the 9th Cuirassier. And as the 9th Cuirassier is done in a second or two, the 61st Infantry will be next on the list of the machine guns to eat up. Currently we're actually firing gas on our own troops. So I think I'll just order the gas to be fired continuously over here. So there's no risk of us gassing our own troops, which is rather unnecessary. I'll order the Scots forward. But otherwise, I guess most of the movements will be done on this side, because I don't want to move, of course, in front of the machine gun tanks and risk having my own troops shot down. So we're going to move these guys up first out into the field to be able to cover. Actually, I might have the gas fire into the woods. The Germans are making they're sending out their infantry. It's kind of a clever tactic. They're trying to avoid my long-range artillery as much as possible, but now, of course, they're cornered and they have to move into the attack position. So they are moving forward. They're about to get flanked, though. We're sending in the British troops first, and then we're gonna have this New Zealand brigade unit battalion should be able to open fire on these. Actually, we'll move all three into a flank there. That should be fine. The Germans are able to produce some fire towards us with their artillery. Try not to gas our own men, so we're gonna go ahead, go back to firing on the back part of the enemy's position. I'm gonna tell the tanks quickly just to hold fire and then fire again, just so they reselect targets to whatever is the closest in the German lines. The Germans are able to return some fire against us, but most of everything just falls apart here. The general just died. Yeah, it's all over. All their infantry were crushed in their attempt at attacking us. For the last bit, most of the enemy is destroyed, so it's just their artillery left. That is when I order the battalions to spring across the field, move into action against these. I guess we'll send one infantry into reserve, because I can't fit all the units into that area. Oh, that's why. I didn't realize it was impossible terrain right there. I guess 2 units will be in reserve. Also, hold fire on the gas, so we don't gas our own troops. It's kind of unnecessary. Actually, just for show, we might fire gas right here, just so it looks more cinematic. And the gas might still be able to fly in over the enemy, right? They were holding on to a gun that wasn't even operational. They are firing back, but I wonder if they can even tilt the artillery into an angle where they can even fire at us. We're pretty darn close here for the position. Oh, it's a shrapnel one. So yeah, that one is still causing a little bit of havoc. Surprised that it's taking us so long to destroy these. why aren't you like just absolutely annihilating? I guess actually we can tell units to hold fire and we order 2 units to do bayonet attacks. Everyone else will hold the fire. Hold fire. Cover up the gas. We are calling bayonet attacks over the enemy's artillery. Destroying. And then we can finally call victory. Right. They're holding on very well. Surprisingly well. The more we kill, of course, the less we have to fight in the next battle. So we want to make sure that as many of these as possible are killed. Surprisingly high amount of casualties among our own troops here. Because I think both of these units were around... This one lost, I think, 4, which isn't that bad, but it's still kind of a lot, given that it was just artillery crew we ran over. And this one is having trouble with the 2 guys that were left, and that's the end of it. Close victory. And here's the result of that battle. We deployed 2,664 men, lost 413. The enemy deployed 2,264, and they lost 2,000, which 237 remain. What we can see is we almost managed to kill 200 of our own troops, which is kind of interesting. I want to see, though, how many kills. Even with the tanks having, I mean, when I say good position, they didn't really have a good position. Most of the shots were fired into that. They would, if it had been flat all the way up to the enemy infantry, and the machine gun tanks would have been able to fire into those concentrated troops when they were just at the edge of the border, I mean, it would have been a slaughter. It was still a slaughter, because we can see the one tank, we can clearly see which tank was the one on the left, which actually had a good position, managed to get 304 kills, compared to the second one that was firing into the hill that only got 100. And then the gas, which got 350. But that's pretty darn good. We only lost 400 men. We still have a sizable force to continue the assault. And that we shall do. So, oh, the German force was there. It was hiding. The question is here, I guess I want to attack with the northern force now to kind of mix it up. They get intercepted by a tiny force. Tiny force of 600 men. That's an auto-resolve. I'm pretty sure if I'd played it, I would have managed to get 0. Actually, I'd probably managed to mess it up and got the cavalry killed or something. But yeah, we took out 600 men, and that's about it actually for Allenby. So Allenby's part in this operation so far is less than impressive. Now Dorin still has some movement and is able to contact with this unit, would bring in more units, the Austro-Hungarians. This is really an auto-resolve, but at the same time it's not an auto-resolve, just because of the fact of the balance here. I'm pretty sure we would end up losing too many men doing an auto-resolve. So once again, we'll have one of those battles where yeah, well, with this one, with this battle, we'll clear out all the enemy troops on our side of this river. And then, next turn, we can jump into this and have the proper battle, as it were. With that said, let's go ahead and end these fools. And so, the army is on the move again. The first force that we met were utterly devastated right over here. We've got the smaller German force over here already under gas attack. And hopefully they'll get destroyed in seconds as well. And then we all got the Austro-Hungarians right here. Now the Austro-Hungarians have a pretty bad spawn, and that's why there's only so few troops. Because they start here, and this right here is blocking them from coming in, or it makes it difficult for them to enter the field. So they kind of have to wiggle around this, and that's why it's taking them so long to actually get into the battlefield. So once they even get a sizable force around there, I'm pretty sure I'll have been able to completely surround the place. And not only that, my long-range artillery has perfect range all the way to the edge of the field. And yeah, it'll be a total massacre. Heavy gun should be firing on that, while the gas continues on the 142nd. My tanks are rolling into position, and then I've been rolling up the artillery, which will be set up right here to be able to bomb them. Let's have the Scots move a little bit quicker. I guess this tank can actually stop right where it is, and then have the Scots move up, and this force will be dealt by these tanks, and then we'll just order the others over to that force right over there. So the tank is now gunning them all down by the aid of the Scottish troops. So they are gone. Let's have the Scots rush the cannon, and have the other units focus in on the Austro-Hungarians. Currently the Austro-Hungarians, their artillery, or their mortar, is actually doing quite the number on us. So I will dedicate the long-range heavy artillery to fire counter-battery, or it's not really counter-battery since it's mortars. They aren't really able to fire a lot to begin with. I think I will actually hold them right there as soon as possible. We want that gone, and damn, I don't think I've ever been able to take out the unit as quickly as that. Scots will advance to that hold there. There's no point in you actually joining that fight. And then we got the Australians taking up this position, with the mixed one working its way through there. And currently all artillery should now be focusing on that one light mortar battery. It's actually, they've got two! The second one is coming in right underneath the fire. It looks like this battle is going to be a bit messed up, just because it's going to take such a while for the Austro-Hungarian force to get into battle. So I'm not sure we'll actually be able to finish them in this battle. But we'll see. We might just be able to kill their guns before the battle is over. In the second one, the Austro-Hungarian has to face us without any artillery. It looks like the battle is soon to be over. All the troops on the field have retreated, and well, not even the entire army has actually joined in on the field. It looks like the snipers might just be able to join in before the end. But once they are crushed, I'm pretty sure that's it. I don't think the Landsturm will make it in before the battle is over. Or they will. Okay, they will. This will go on for quite a while then, where we just crush them at the border, just the border here on the map. Unfortunately though, it looks like a lot of the units will be able to come out at reasonable strength. This unit has lost 125 men only, I'd say. But we continue to bombard. This one just lost 6 without even being able to join in on the field. But yeah, I'm not going to sit through here and watch the slaughter. I'll just play through it, and hopefully we might have enough time in the episode for a third battle, a third proper battle where we actually take on Prague. And here's the result of that battle. We deployed 2,250, we lost 275, so we're down to about 2,000 men. And the enemy lost, out of 1,450, they lost 1,000, or 1,100, leaving 360 troops left. This time around we didn't team kill that many, we only team killed about 4 of our own, which is excellent. The enemy didn't team kill anyone at all, so it's completely accounted for. Highest kills goes to Gas again. Gas is really bloody powerful. The tanks are not even seen on the list. They end up all the way down here. But I'm sure I'll be able to find a good use for them yet. I'll find that right spot for them to massacre the enemy. But it's hard to compare, you know. The tanks, you know, machine guns, really good, but you have to get them in the right position. The gas, I mean, it can fire basically anywhere on the map, constantly, just constantly fire, get those good hits, and just absolutely destroy everyone. But yeah, we are out of moves for this. We cleared out, I was hoping we'd clear out, there's still some units. The heavy artillery that never was allowed to join into battle because it is too heavy to actually be drawn into battle. What I'm thinking we're gonna do is well, we've lost about what? Let's see. There was 400-ish in the first battle, and there were 200-ish in the second. So let's say 600 men for this army. Yeah, that's right, because we started around 2,600 men for this army, and now we're around 2,000. So we lost 600, but we have also like killed 3,000 in comparison. But I'm thinking we're gonna end turn, and then we're gonna have Edmund Allenby and his artillery, or his men, try and cross the bridge, or try and attack that way, and then most likely all of this, hopefully all of this, will be dragged into battle. We could see a counterattack towards this, but I'm sure we'll manage. However, we've had 2 battles. I tried to minimize in terms of like get them over with as quickly as possible, but I think it might be better just to not drag it out way too long, to have the next battle pushed into another video, just because it looks like it's gonna be a big one. With that said, let's go ahead and end turn just first, because I want to know what the enemy has in store for us. So the enemy do in fact counterattack, and they counterattack with the army that was situated in Prague. So really the best or the biggest troop they had beside the German one. So it's 1,660 men, added on about 400 of the already defeated armies. And yet again, for the 3rd battle in a row, these heavy guns are not allowed to join the battle that is close at hand. We have about 2,000 meeting their 2,000. They've got a lot of heavy guns though, a lot of heavy guns, and now it's probably the first time we've seen, yeah, oof. So they have 1,000 range. This one is 3,000. This one might be easy to take out though, because it's a small group of observers. that could easily be gassed, hopefully. This is going to be nasty. This is going to be a nasty battle with heavy casualties on our side. Plus, in terms of our advancing towards the enemy, look at how many combat engineers they have. They have 4 of them. They're going to mine the middle of the zone where really now needs to push hard to get it in at those artillery pieces. It's going to be an interesting battle, to say the least. That is my prediction, anyways. I've probably jinxed it, and it will be nothing of the kind as we go into this. Worst case scenario, this will be an absolute slaughter. But with that analysis done, let's go ahead and attack. Now, the Austrians could have made it interesting by spreading out their combat engineers along a vast line, making it more likely that I'll run into the bomb, just forgetting where the bombs were all situated. But no, instead they decided to focus them all in one location, really close to us, so it's kind of easy to remember where it is, and also easy to destroy those guys. But it could just be that I want to put them up front there just to stop our advance, in terms of like advancing the tanks and stuff. I thought most of the heavy guns, we've got 1 heavy gun deployed over there, but we got 2 batteries that are undeployed, 3 actually undeployed over there, and then yet another one over there. So I thought most of the guns were fixed artillery, that they had to be deployed. But clearly not. Just 1 is ready to fire at us. And we're going to focus in on that one, I think. Or maybe we should just let our artillery deal with these. Oh, they spread it out a little bit. So 1 of the bombs just in front of there. The other one, oh, they put it right by the landmark as well. Just because you've got the little bushes right here. I mean, in terms of machine gun massacres, I don't think I've ever seen anything this bad. Like this catastrophic. Oh shit, the enemy is actually deploying their guns this time around. And my guns are getting eviscerated. These guns are already at half strength. I switched it around because normally most of the enemy troops kind of end up going towards this side. So the Scots are now on the right side. Holy shit. Holy moly. Right, troops forward. Let's remember bomb roughly around there. Oh yeah, bomb around there. Tanks forward. And then the mixed brigade forward over there. Heavy blasting over here. Down 4 men. It's, I mean, it's not super bad, but it's unusually bad. Oh, shit. That is the... Yes! Where is that one? The unit that is just like the observer unit. I can't see it. Snipers. I guess it's being hidden, so we can't actually see it. Most of the enemy troops are coming right here, so we'll face them that way. Heavy losses on this side. Let's see, the tanks will actually clear most of that up. Pull back towards the woods. You've moved way... Damn! They keep blasting us over here. Getting a shit destroyed. Right, quickly, lads, quickly, get the Scots in position. Now the tanks are starting to fire, aiding us. I'm They should be firing on the 4th Infantry though. They shouldn't be firing at the snipers. I wish I had cavalry, then I could ride through bloody snipers and go directly for their artillery. Like, we need to kind of start pushing uphill to get a little bit better positions to fire at the enemy from. But the machine guns of the tanks are working up the side of this unit perfectly, destroying it. Remember the bomb over there? I want to work one machine gun tank over there, one over there. It's all snipers, it's all bloody snipers. I'm going to order the Scots to charge. I'm going to order the Canadians to charge as well. Get rid of all of that. And then the fight continues over here. The Austrians are making some gains towards us. Let's go ahead and see. These charges might fail just because they might be supported by artillery. Damn, the gas started firing on our own troops, which I don't want. Okay, you slaughtered those. Go for the guns, go for the guns. You're supposed to charge that one. Right, go for the guns, go for the guns. You, go for the guns. It's time, I think, to hold the tanks and get them into position. Oh, they're being targeted by the enemy artillery. There's a big formation of Austrians over here. Want to destroy that. 3rd Infantry. It's about to get annihilated. Okay, focus in the gas on this unit. And then you guys. There's the really heavy gun. That's the one we really want to destroy. Machine gun tanks are opening up again. Should be focusing on this one, and looking at the numbers that are dropping out of this unit, I am certain to say that they are aiming for this one. Absolute carnage for that unit. No single soldier will survive. Time to halt on artillery fire. Why? How have you managed not to kill these guys? There's definitely going to be a lot of friendly fire for this one. Just because of the Scots charging an enemy artillery position that was under fire. Or it sounds like it's the Scots' fault for charging into artillery fire, but obviously it's my fault for not telling them to hold their advance. I'm sure once the enemy general gets shot down, that's going to be it. Actually, we'll have everyone but the gas can fire. Because the gas, of course, is the one that's going to team kill the most. Oh, what do we have? We have completely forgot about... have you guys turned around to fire on those? Lucky that we stationed some troops in the back then. Turn the tanks around. Imagine sending off all those bombs over there. Oh. The general is going to be part of the battle, firing a little bit on the enemy over here. Wonder if he gets any kills here. Send the troops up, deal with them. Yeah, there's no way these guys are gonna be able to make any difference in this battle. Continue on the advance. Having difficulty shooting down that one last unit. Most of the machine gun shots, I imagine, are hitting the hills. Well, the battle is certainly over at this point. It's just them doing some extra damage on us as the fight rages on. And as soon as the artillery position here is taken out, as we can see right here, most of the morale of these units are absolutely crumbling. Could also be that they maybe are hearing the rumble of the tanks coming towards them. The Jaegers, a little bit more brave, but 27 men against my entire army isn't really gonna work out, is it? And now they realized as well. Maybe. They're a bit indecisive. I definitely know the feeling. We are certainly victorious. This battle, of course, heavy casualties. So combined in the two battles leading up to this, we lost 600 men, and in this one we almost lost 700. So it kind of gives an idea of how tough this was. The enemy deployed 2,000 men, lost 1,765, only 254 survived, and then of course we have our losses. So from an original force of 2,600, we're now down to 1,300 men, which means we've lost we've lost about 1,300. So half the force is now cut down after 3 battles. But we have killed in an excess of what at this point, over 5,000 men, given what we have killed of the enemy. So we take a look here. This time around it is the female tanks. So kind of prophetic there when I said, you know, when I just need to get them in the right position, and I did. When they were able to kill over almost 700 men together, which was quite nice. But we also have heavy losses. You note here that I've lost some tanks. I actually lost 2 tanks right at the very end. They were stationed in a way where the one tank group ended up behind the other one, and they shot each other in the back. So 2 tanks were actually destroyed in one of the groups due to friendly fire. So negligence, but there we have it. Given that we've done 3 battles, I'm pretty sure that this video is long enough as it is. I was hoping to take Prague in this video, but clearly that is not gonna happen. Although I'm pretty sure that we can move in pretty easily and almost out-resolve if it weren't for this army right here. The Austro-Hungarians lost a lot. So yeah, we will be pushing forwards with Allenby from now on, as Smith has lost half of his original force advancing. Russians are coming in as well, so we got a Russian full stack. So if we wait another turn, the Russians might come in. I definitely don't want the Russians to take this. Looks like they are kind of planning to defend the bridge, as they placed some Austro-Hungarians over there. It might be that they, as I approach, they might go ahead and sally forth. Over here, we actually had some pretty good movements from both sides. The French were able to take out a German full stack, but then in return, the Germans moved forward and destroyed all the French units in the area. So it leaves Italian kind of vulnerable over there. As he's now kind of surrounded. He can move forward, of course, to Poland. To get aid there from me, and at this point the tanks are ready, the units are ready, so I should be able... I don't want to walk in the snow, so we can move forward to Lodz and set up there, and then we'll be able to jump over into enemy territory. We'll be handing over Warsaw to Poland soon enough. The Polish have gone ahead and built up quite the army, and I'm hoping to build the Polish up even further to build another kind of blocking force against the Russians. But yeah, I think that's it. So we'll end it right here, and I'll say as I always say, hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye!